Hey yo, here comes the danger up in this club. When we get started, man, we ain't gon' stop. We gon' turn it out till it gets too hot. Everybody sing, hey yo. Tell them turn it out till they can't no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last one and a courtesy call. Everybody sing, hey yo. Tell them turn it out till they can't no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last one and a courtesy call.
What's up, y'all? I'm coming to y'all with that double upload I said I was gonna be doing earlier. And so yeah, I'm gonna be doing part 7 to What If Naruto Was in KonoSuba. So I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, let me get into the what if. And you can also expect this one to be a bit longer than usual. Like maybe around 25, maybe even 30 minutes. So yeah, let's see how long we can get this to. Anyway, let me get on and let me stop talking. Darkness, huh? She kept looking at me like I was supposed to do something. What a weird person, Naruto thought as he walked back towards the town with his hands behind his head. His first impression of darkness was that she was a clumsy knight that couldn't swing a sword for her life, although she seemed like a nice person. But, hey. But I'm still concerned about that smile after all, Naruto thought just as he heard a thumping noise, and he could see a toad hopping around the field a couple meters from him. Naruto frowned. How can people in this town want to kill such a harmless creature? He knew the giant toads in this world were completely different than the ones from his place, his home, but he couldn't just move them without killing them. But, couldn't they just move them without killing them? Seeing the toads here reminded Naruto of how much he missed Gamakichi and the other toads back at Mount Miyaboku. I wonder how they're all doing. Ma, Pa, the chief, everyone. And what's with those clouds? Up in the sky, an ominous formation of dark clouds was beginning to swirl. Naruto started to feel a great collection of energy that he could only assume was mana off in the distance. Looking for the owner of the mana, Naruto saw a young girl wearing red clothing and a black cape with a matching black witch hat. She seemed to be aiming right at the toad. Naruto's eyes widened when he realized the mage's intentions, but he was too late. The girl opened her mouth and all hell went loose. Explosion! Boom! A deafening sound roared, and the toad was consumed in a volume of fire. The wind caused the body explosion. Naruto picked Naruto up off the ground and blew him back a few feet. But he grabbed the ground to keep himself from tumbling away. Naruto squinted his eyes as he watched the combustion that was comparable to a small Biju bomb. Finally, the wind died down and Naruto was able to relax. There was now a enormous crater just 15 meters from where he was. The remains of the toad were nowhere to be seen. Naruto blinked, and he blinked twice. Until finally, hey, what the hell were doing aiming for that spell? Hey, why would you use such a powerful technique on a toad? That was way past overkill. Naruto shouted angrily at the red clothed mage and started running towards her to exact revenge, only skidding to a stop when he saw the girl suddenly collapse. Hey, are you okay? He asked and crouched down in front of the girl who was lying face down on the ground. Yes, it was a long fought battle, but I used up all my mana in that first and final attack. I see you were almost caught in the explosions. My apologies. I get a bit excited when I'm using that spell. I see. No, I guess it's fine, but you should watch where you're firing that spell. You could kill someone with that much firepower. A sacrifice or two would be nothing more than a tribute for Megami, who was likely a god of destruction in a past life. Well, this sacrifice is about to leave you with a toad food if you don't stop talking nonsense. Oh, great god of destruction, Naruto said with a twitching eyebrow, then grabbed Megami's staff and proceeded to lightly hit her on the head with it. Megami's head shifted awkwardly in response, and Naruto assumed that was her nodding. At the same time, the blonde heard footsteps and a familiar voice shouting, Megami, we have 2 toes left. Use that spell again on the further ones while Aqua is distracting the other one. Oh, Naruto, what are you doing here? Hey, eh, what are you doing to Megami? Oh, Naruto was kind of in a confusion. Kazuma shouted and rushed over to the now named Megami's side. At first glance, Naruto looked like he just mugged a little girl by beating her with her own weapon. I didn't do anything. This kid almost killed me with her explosion. I mean, that wouldn't kill him, but hey. Naruto shouted back while pointing at the mage with the staff. And Kazuma's here, then that would mean this kid was literally a new member of his and Aqua's party. Who you calling a kid? If my mana wasn't depleted, I would, Megami said in a dark voice while Kazuma suddenly interrupted her. Wait, what do you mean your mana's depleted? You used one spell. Don't tell me you're just as useless as Aqua. Speaking of Aqua, where is she? As Kazuma said, Aqua was distracting one of the toads, which probably means, Naruto thought as he walked off to find a girl that was likely being eaten by a toad. How rude to assume I'm useless. Though it is regrettable, I can only use that spell once by using all of my mana that leaves me too exhausted to move. But being paralyzed from the neck down after causing a small price to pay for ultimate power. That is explosion magic. Megami's muffled voice said with her face still flat on the ground. Kazuma face palm. A mage that could only use one spell once a day? That spell couldn't even be used inside of a cave or a building, much less a town. Such impractical magic. This mage sounds absolutely useless. A thump sound brought Kazuma out of his thoughts and saw one of the toads coming towards him. Oh no, the other toad is almost here. Naruto, help us out since you're here. Huh? Kazuma said when he noticed Naruto was nowhere to be found. Where did the only person that could fight go? Since I can't move my body, I will inevitably be consumed by that toad. I will leave it to you to save Megami said before she was consumed, her legs sticking out of the toad's mouth. Kazuma gulped as he drew his sword. Why does this world keep throwing obstacles at me? Wasn't I supposed to be a hero that would slay the Demon King? And why was I sent in the beginner's town with no money, no weapon, and a goddess that was only useful for her useless party tricks? Adventurers Guild. Just as Naruto thought, Aqua had been caught and almost swallowed by the giant toad. After smacking the toad and calming the crying girl, Kazuma had shown up with a slimy Megami on his back. While they were on their way to the bathhouse, Megami and Kazuma had an argument. Naruto didn't quite hear what they was talking about, only managing to catch something about how Megami was willing to do anything to be in their party. And then Kazuma eventually agreed to let her join. Now sitting inside the Adventurers Guild, Kazuma and Naruto ordered some drinks while they waited for the girls. So, seems like you got yourself in a bit of a handful with the new party members. Excuse me. Naruto said to Kazuma, who had decided to order some beer. How old was this guy anyway? Kazuma didn't look that much older than him. maybe a year or two. But it wasn't any of Naruto's business, so he just let it go. Kazuma placed his beard down inside. Troublesome is just putting it lightly. That girl can only use one spell a day, and while that spell is incredibly strong, I don't see much use of it. Naruto laughed, but that spell was incredibly potent, but I bet it can one shot most monsters in this world. I wonder how that kid was able to produce such an explosion. Again, who are you calling a kid? Are you trying to pick a fight with me? Megami, who just entered the guild hall with Aqua, said, and the two sat down on the other side of the table. Aqua immediately called a waitress and ordered some food. Ah, put this on Naruto's tab, please. Aqua said to the waitress, and Naruto loudly stood up. Hey, wait a second. Why am I treating you when I saved you? Again, if anything, you should be treating me. Naruto shouted angrily, and Aqua shrugged nonchalantly. Think of it as a small price to pay for having the privilege of holding a goddess in your arms a second time. You should be thanking me since I decided not to tell the others where you accidentally double order for the lady. Naruto quickly shouted to the waitress when Aqua started saying unnecessary things. And the blue-haired priest just had a very smirky grin on her face. That girl, even though she'd been bawling her eyes out, crying, and gripping onto his leg while thanking him, it wasn't his fault he accidentally touched her butt when he caught her. Feeling the gaze of the other two people on the table, Naruto turned to Kazuma. But, by the way, where did you go after we dropped the girls off at the bathhouse? You said you had something to do, but you came back rather quick, Naruto said with suspicious eyes, and Kazuma averted his gaze. Ah, I see. You went back to kill that toad, didn't you? Then that means I unintentionally assisted in murder. Hey, let it go. What do you mean by murder? Killing toads is our quest. Why didn't you just let me kill it earlier? Well, Naruto all but strangled Kazuma, making me raise an eyebrow. Why does it matter if a few toads were killed? They're eating the livestock of the town and sometimes even people. But most importantly, the toad meat is delicious. By the way, Kazuma, went back to kill the toad you knocked out the first time. You saved me as well. Aqua chimed in while taking a bite out of her fried toe meat in her hands. No, don't say that! Naruto shouted, covering his ears to keep the others from hearing anymore. Keep himself from hearing anymore. What? Hold up. Alright, I'm back. So, where was I? He knew the toads in this world were treated as monsters, but he couldn't bring himself to slay one himself. Just being a part of the killing was one filled him with guilt. A lot of it at least. I've been wondering for a while now, but who is this man? Is he also a part of this party? Making me ask, and Naruto stopped yelling. He's not a part of our party, but our invitation is still on the board. Fair warning though, you might get covered in slime. Kazuma said to Naruto, who scratched his cheek. I guess it wouldn't hurt to form a party with y'all. After all, Luna has been telling me to form a party for safety reasons since I first got here. But I'm not killing any toads, Naruto said with a chuckle of his, and Kazuma sighed in relief. Thank goodness. With Naruto in our party, now I won't have to worry about these people as much. Oi, who are these people you're talking to? I really like to meet them. Uh, Making me as with a dark expression, and Kazuma immediately turned to Aqua. So Aqua, no objections? Aqua ate some more of her food that she was been munching on and held her hand out. Not really. Just let me see your adventures card. I'm curious as what your job and stats are, she said, and Naruto fished his card out of his pocket and handed it over before turning to Kazuma. Hold up. Alright, I'm back. So, well, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how I feel about joining your party, but I have a feeling I'm gonna keep winding up wild of all my money. Not to mention that little girl with too much firepower. But hey, I'm not sure. I'm sure we'll just get along just fine. What's this? You trying to pick a fight with me too? Don't think for a second I'm afraid of fighting two boys at the same time. I'll take both of you on. Megami said with a serious expression while cracking her knuckles. Wow, this kid got spunk, Naruto thought while laughing awkwardly. Kinda reminds me of a certain loud-mouthed brat that had a short fuse. Still does, Kurama's voice added, and Naruto was about to give a fox a piece of his mind when Aqua suddenly looked up from the car and spoke. Rejected. Eh? What? Naruto and Kazuma were both shocked. The invitation clearly states one must have an advanced job class if they wish to join. That's why I allowed Megami to join, who was an arc wizard. Just what is this girl thinking? Is she still mad about Naruto rejecting her invitation last time? Kazuma thought with a twitching eyebrow. What? What's with you? You were pretty much begging me to join your party this morning. What happened to that? Naruto yelled as he slammed his hands on the table to emphasize his frustration, but Aqua merely looked the other way. I changed my mind. My party is not in need of two useless adventurers. Useless? I saved you from being eaten by giant toads twice. I can't believe you turned out to be this kind of a person, and to think I once thought you looked really cool when you purified that ghost. Give me my admiration back, Naruto said as he reached out his hand expectantly to Aqua and smacked it away. Ah, you were watching me at that time? Are you obsessed with me? You said you were a ninja, but I didn't think you'd go that far as to stalking me from the shadows. Who is a stalker? Kazuma looked back and forth between the two screaming people. How did this happen? Geez, get a room, you two, Megami suddenly said with a sigh, then flinched when both Naruto and Aqua stopped and turned their attention towards her. Share a room with this stalker? For all I know, he'll probably steal my paintings every night and giggling while dancing around with them like an idiot, Aqua claimed while staring at Naruto with a scornful look. Like hell I would. What in the world gave you that idea that I would do something like that? Do you even wear panties? I can't even tell, Naruto said with the shake of his head, and Aqua gasped while pacing her hand over her rear. He admits it. This man's probably been taking the path of a pervert. He truly is a devil. Don't worry, I'll purify him now. Who are you? Who are you calling an it? And I told you before, I'm not a devil. And stop trying to purify me, Naruto says he threw his empty cup at Aqua, who sidestepped the projectile with a snicker. How's that? I can sense a great deal of malice coming from you again, devil. Now you understand the power of a goddess. Sorry about that. But the malice that Aqua was referring to was the one coming from other than Kurama, who had just been taking the full brunt of Aqua's constant purification spells. Kill this dead pant bitch, or else give me control over your body so I may do it myself. Calm down, Kurama. I think people are starting to sense our presence as well. Naruto thought back in an attempt to calm the enraged tail beast, but it was too late, and people called could already hear the whispers floating around the guild. Hey, did she say devil? I always thought Naruto was just a delinquent that was working hard to impress Luna, but is he actually a devil? No way. Naruto lowered his head and his bangs covering his eyes as the rumors began to spread. Oi, Aqua, don't you think you're taking this a bit too far? Kazuma started but was cut off while Megami pointed her staff at Naruto, her eyes glowing. I do sense demonic energy coming from this man. Why is that? Explain yourself, or I may just cast an explosion spell to destroy you right here and now, she claimed, and some of the Avenger Guild's members began to panic. Megami snickered triumphantly, clearly enjoying the chaos she had started. But Didn't you say that you can only cast one explosion magic per day? You just used it earlier, right? Aqua retorted, which caused the panic to immediately die down, and making me begin to sweat profoundly while keeping the same expression. Naruto sighed. He was hoping to keep the fact that he had Krama a bit longer, but he now realized it was pointless. With the entire Adventure Guild Hall attention on him, Naruto hopped on the table and took a deep breath before putting a confident grin. I'm Naruto Uzumaki. I come from a faraway village of a ninja. When I was a baby, the leader of my village sealed a nine-tailed fox demon inside of me. But there's no need to worry, cause Kurama is my best friend. Naruto shouted, causing many eyes to widen in surprise. He continued, I don't care if any of you believe me right now, because I'm going to prove myself to this world. I'm going to be the one to defeat the Demon King. This caused an uproar of chanting throughout the guild. Kazuma's eyes stared at Naruto with widened. Right now, Naruto was acting like a protagonist straight out of an anime or a manga. This sparked a fire in the pit of Kazuma's stomach. He couldn't be outdone by his fellow player. Grinning widely at his handiwork, Naruto hopped down from the table and began walking towards the exit. He had some ramen to make. But someone grabbed his jacket and Naruto looked down to see Megami staring at him with sparkling eyes. That that declaration was inspiring. I too hope to defeat the Demon King one day, and I'll mark my name in history. That's why I came to this town, to form a party with people who with the same goal. This kid may have maybe a short fuse firecracker, but it seems she has some decent goals, Naruto thought with a smile. Kazuma sighed. Looks like Naruto's gonna form a party with Megami. I hope he would join us, but at least I have to worry about one problem child again. Then make then that makes us rivals. Don't expect me to go easy on you just because you're a kid. As a genius prodigy of the Crimson Magic Clan, I wouldn't have it any other way. Eh? Kazuma said with Naruto and Megami suddenly announced that. And the ninja pointed that to Aqua. Pointed to, yeah, Aqua. Aqua, let's have a race to see who can beat the Demon King first. And Aqua, she laughed hastily. Ha! As if a mere stalker would pose a threat to the great me. But, being the kind goddess that I am, I'll humor you. You're on. Naruto chuckled, then turned to leave the guild again, to buy some ingredients to make his ramen experiments. And what else? Hold up. Alright, I'm back. As the Adventure Guild Hall began to shift back to its former state, Kazuma finally snapped out of his surprise and started panicking. At this rate, he's going to be stuck with these two problem children all by himself. Aqua, apologize quickly. Naruto's going to leave. Don't wanna. Naruto made his choice, not that I would have accepted him in the party anyway, Aqua said while looking away. Then went back to talking to Megami. This girl, Kazuma said while grinding his teeth. A couple minutes after Naruto left, a tall, blonde-haired woman in armor walked up to their table. Is this the party that was said to have walked through towns with girls filled with slime? Yes. Kazuma stuttered due to the sudden appearance of a beautiful night. Did people really talk about their party? He hoped there wasn't any bad rumors about him. The woman then let out a ragged breath and gained a dangerous look in her eyes. A look that Kazuma didn't like. My name's Darkness. I wield the job of Crusader. Please let me join your party and use me as your meat shield against whatever causes that slime. Hearing this, Aqua and Megami joined the conversation. Oh, we needed a vanguard in our party. Isn't this great, Kazuma? Welcome to the party, Darkness. And Kazuma, he was thinking about this. What? Naruto, wait! Naruto, wait for me. Don't leave me with these crazy people. And so with that, I'm going to end it right there. So, yeah. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe. I'm on a new goal now. Road to 1K. And so with that being said, I'm out. Peace.